Pete. That's everyone runs their business their own way. Yeah, that's not a good impersonation. That is an insult. I don't fart, mate. Mark, come say bye. Bye, Mark. Keep it simple. Wait up.
What's going on, guys? I am SimpleSimon, and welcome to the return of the NOOB Absolute Podcast. Before I bring on the co-host with the most, trying a new thing. I don't do a lot of streams, but there's a new feature on StreamYard which actually streams two versions at the same time. And a lot of people, I think, are a little bit confused, and a lot of people are watching the incorrect version. So you'll notice one of the titles will say mobile version. So StreamYard now do two streams at the same time. One is for desktop TVs, laptops, all the good stuff. And there's a mobile version now which plays in mobile mode. So for all the people in the chat that have... Oh, it doesn't show up there. I can see it. I can see it on my chat here, but I can't see it when I highlight it. So if you're watching the version that has the little mobile icon on it, that is for mobile, and you're going to see it in vertical. So if you're on a traditional screen which plays 16:9, watch the other version. I'm pretty sure if you are watching the phone version, though, this will be the last time because I'm not doing this again. I don't like it. I don't like it. We fear change. So just a quick hello. We got Snyder Cat Guy showed up first, watching on mobile. DMFN also on the mobile version and confused. I am not joking. Two versions going at the same time. So me and Mark can actually see both versions on our screen. And it's really weird. So every time I make a comment, two comments come up. It's confusing. And you guys, I don't know if you can tell the difference or not. Anyway, I'm wasting time. Christina Payne, thank you for joining us. Let's bring on, let's see if I can remember how to do this, the greatest co-host in history.
Say hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark.
How is everyone? Everyone doing well? Been a while since been on because Simon had to go to Japan and places and, leave us in the dirt. Don't worry about us, and he leaves us in the dust. Shit, go on.
Yeah, you guys could have gone up there. Plenty of my friends were up there at the same time.
Well, we don't want. We want to stay here for the NOOB. We stay here for the NOOB.
Okay, you could have gone up there. Imagine live, the NOOB live from Japan. Imagine, mate. One day.
Imagine.
Yeah, we'll be live from Tokyo. That would be awesome. What's going on, Roy? Thank you for joining us. So it's been a long time. When I saw you the other week at the Melbourne Comic and Toy Fair, I think that may have been the longest stretch that I hadn't seen you.
I know. I was getting the shakes, to be honest.
How did you find the event?
I found it very good. I was the first one. And I don't know. I found it very good. The people were great. I had a lot of different customers, a lot of familiar faces as well, but a lot of new faces. I really loved, to be honest, I really loved our setup. I think me and Sean continue to work well together. And Eli on the side, he was really good as well. He did really well. So yeah, I really liked the setup. I really loved the whole layout. You can tell that he takes his time and he lays it out properly. It was good. It was a good event.
Sean
and the guy who organizes it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Well, it's a well-oiled machine now. He's done quite a number of shows. He even said once he used to sleep in the car park overnight the day before the event. That's how stressed he used to be about them. And now this one, he was like, "This is the first time I slept at home." So
yes,
yeah. But it's good to see you there because I was saying to people, I really like that Mark's. I mean, it'd be cool if you were actually just, a customer there. But it's good to see you at those events because back in the day, you used to have to be at the shop So you never used to be at those events. So
yeah, I mean, I did have a look. I had a bit of a walk around, and I did it in two halves. So I did one half when it was a bit slow, and then I did the other half a bit later on. But it wasn't really much I was looking for. I was looking for some of the new releases in the McFarlane Batman figures, but they haven't been released yet. So
what ones were you looking at? What ones were you looking for?
The Batman in the Mobius chair.
Oh,
yeah.
What about this one?
No, not after that one.
That's a good looking figure, though.
He's a good looking figure. I'm not saying it's not, but I wasn't looking for that one. You and Catwoman. I knew you would get that one.
I wasn't. Look, I did not go to the shop intending to buy it, but I got FOMO because Andrew was like, the wholesale is already sold out. I overheard him say that to another customer who was picking one up, and I was like, hey, you better throw one of those on my pile.
Isn't that always the way? Yeah. They knew. They saw you coming, man.
Good salesman, that Andrew.
That's that cat guy. And they're releasing. They're doing a Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze. You know how that was a builder figure?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Didn't they already do that?
Yeah, they did that. They did that as a builder figure, but they're releasing it as a normal figure when it lights up as well.
Mate,
so I want to get that one.
Have you got the builder figure?
No.
I was going to say, if you had that, just give it to Jin. He'll make it light up.
No, I'm not going to. No, I don't. And then there was they're doing what's that robot that Batman built in the comics?
Oh, come on, quick! I want to get it before anyone else does. It's like some security type name, like Deadlock.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah,
someone
like that. They're releasing that.
Yeah, that's about where I stopped reading Batman.
Yeah, so they're releasing that, and they're releasing another one. I can't remember. I've got four on my waiting list. So I can't remember the fourth one. But I was hoping they would be released already, so I would have got them.
Wait, so the Morbius chair, is that Batman comes with the Morbius chair?
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be an expensive one then, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't too expensive, but I'm hoping that it's got a stand, like it's got a stand, so at least it looks like he's floating. That would be cool. But I didn't find anything. I didn't find anything that I liked. I looked around. There was some stuff here and there, but not anything that I really loved. Not like in the Geelong one where I bought that Geelong one. I bought a poster, an original print of First Blood in a frame.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's from awesome. Vintage Archaeology in Geelong.
Retro
Archaeology. So I bought it from their store. It was really well priced. I had some birthday money, so I bought it with that. But it was really nice. I came home and Nina was like, "Where are you going to put that?"
Yeah,
and I was like,
tell me that.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. I'll work it out in the garage.
Have you?
In the garage.
Have you been to the Retro Archaeology shop?
Not yet, but I want to go. I know it's in my neck of the woods. I just haven't had time.
Yeah, that's a cool little store. And you got right next to Pop Culture. So you can go there for the vintage and then go to Pop Culture for your bloody new multiverse DC stuff.
Yeah, I can if I wanted to. Or I can just order them online. Whatever. I'm scared to go into stores now.
Why?
Because you go to a store and then you walk out with more stuff that you planned.
Yeah, like me with the Catwoman. I went there to pick up 2 other figures, and I walked out with that Catwoman as well. Yeah.
Are you gonna set her free? Are you gonna set her free?
Of course. The only thing is, right, so with my McFarlane, it's so weird, right? I'm a DC guy, right?
Hashtag DC guy.
My DC McFarlane shelf is not even half as impressive as my Marvel shelf looks great. You should see the figures on my Marvel shelf. My DC shelf is pretty lackluster, but you know what? I just realized, and I literally just thought this then. I don't think it's because I don't go buy those figures. It's because McFarlane, all he wants to make is 500 versions of the same freaking character. That's so stupid, man. Like, I don't
'Cause
give
it
a shit
sells.
about. Why would you do Jokerized versions of all these characters? Who actually buys that stuff?
Because it sells. People buy that stuff, man.
Ugh, what a great looking poster. I know, right? First Blood. Yeah, I might need that in my life too one day. Got lost in the mobile version. No, like there's so many characters he could make. Like he started to do some of the newer characters, like characters that wouldn't, like for example, Ghostmaker, right? He's a fairly new character. Most people, unless they're pretty up with modern comics, wouldn't know who Ghostmaker is. That figure sold well. You know why? Because he's a great looking character. He's a great looking action figure, right? So it sold like hotcakes. Man, like I don't want 500 different Batmans and Jokers and
I
Harleys.
do.
Oh yeah,
I do.
yeah, that you're the reason that he makes those things.
Look at my cabinet. All the Batmans.
And he won't even like. How long has it taken? Has that Zatanna figure come out from McFarlane yet? Is Zatanna? I know there was Zatanna. I know there was going to be one. I don't know if it's come out yet.
I don't know. I ignore anything else but Batman.
There's some great characters, man. You
just love Zatanna. You love the legs.
But I want to create I want to create the teams. Like for example, I bought Starfire, right? Great looking. That's a great looking figure. However, not practical. I'll give you some more spiel on McFarlane before we get into our main topic. Like McFarlane make good looking figures. They make terrible statues, but good looking figures, right? But they don't make practical figures. Is that fair?
Okay. Well, I don't know. What are you? What are you referring to, sir?
Okay. Well, let's use Starfire as an example, right? What's going on, Mitch? She's got high heels, right? So she's pretty hard to stand up. Like, and because of her amazing hair, which looks great, her hair looks fantastic, but because of the weight of the hair, it's very hard to just balance her. Especially when she's wearing heels. So
it's not only McFarlane.
You have to have the stand. Now, I've got the She-Spawn figure as well, right? She-Spawn looks great, looks fantastic, real good detail. Weapons are awesome. She literally cannot stand, like without a stand, and even with a stand, she falls over. But she literally without a stand cannot stand.
Yeah, it's not only McFarlane. Look, the DC Direct released the Alex Ross figures. They released a Zatanna figure with the top hat and everything, and she had high heels, and you couldn't get her to stand. Not even with the standards. And I have trouble with Black Canary. Black Canary's got heels, boots, and I have to lean her up against Green Arrow, like in a sexy way, just to get her to stand.
I feel like they should make all the high heels more like. I've got other high heel figures that are fine. I've got was it Mayfix Harley Quinn Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but how much are you paying for Mayfix?
I got that one for $50.
That's but they're very high, much higher quality.
Yes, true.
Figures.
So one of the things I wanted to do, I had Starfire. Obviously, I've got Red Hood. I was like, oh, now I need to get Roy Harper because then I can build the new 52. So I got myself a secondhand Roy Harper. But I want to build these teams from my DC shelf, but I just can't because McFarlane won't release the figures.
He will eventually. Just give it time.
He won't. What do you mean eventually? He's done. He's only got the clock is ticking.
He's not done.
What do you mean he's not done?
He's still going to be going ahead. I personally think he's going to keep going, doing the adult stuff. You know, like for the adult collector, whereas the other part of the licensee is going to be more for the kids line. That's what I think. Because he's still releasing stuff, man.
Yeah, I know, because I reckon he'll be going until the end of the financial year. That's
Mattel, right? So Mattel is going to be doing the kids line, and I think McFarlane will be doing for the adult collector. They can't say that there's not a market for it because he's proved that there is. But there's also a market for a kids line as well.
If he loses the adult line and Mattel took over and made 6-inch figures, I would probably get rid of my McFarlane collection.
Oh, you would not. You would not.
I reckon I would. I reckon I'd trade in for 6-inch because I want my DC figures to mingle with the rest of my figures. I want them to hang out and be friends, but they're all like giant.
Mingle guy. Hashtag mingle guy.
Yeah. Hashtag
Nah,
unity.
man. Nah.
Mattel is
It's
trash.
got a
Mitch,
big excuse.
you weren't born when Mattel was making them, were you?
Uh,
All right. So the topic today, since we've already gone 15 minutes in, is I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a very well-traveled man. I travel a lot. I just recently came back from Japan. Did you know that, Mark? Recently went to
what
Japan.
you mean? You travel back and forth to work?
Yes, which is 7 minutes down the road.
Yes,
So
I did realize. I did think I saw you. I thought you went to Japan because I saw a couple of videos.
Yeah. Hopefully, the people watching the Japan vlogs are enjoying it because I'm enjoying making them each week. But yes, I wanted to talk about collecting abroad because obviously I don't go overseas a lot. In fact, that was the first time in 12 years. But this was the first time as like a collector, I guess, that I am now, right? And obviously Japan is the land for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you've traveled a lot in your 80 years on Earth.
You're going to cop it when I see you with that for that one.
So I figured we'd start off a little bit about my travels, and then maybe we'll get into some of Mark's because, like I said, Mark has literally traveled to like specifically for the hunt, I would say. All right. So,
Yeah.
but we'll get into that. So, I guess do you have any questions for me, Mike, about Japan? Since I'm hashtag Japan expert guy.
What were the noodles like?
Oh, mate, the best every day.
And
There's
the ramen. What's the ramen like?
well, the ramen is the noodles, but yes, the ramen was very good, very cheap. So
Yeah, keep going.
Sarah and I found our favorite place in the last 4 days of our trip, and we
How
went
cool.
there for 4 days in a row.
Yeah, of course.
And a bowl of ramen was $8 to $10, fully loaded with everything. And then the first bowl of ramen I came home to when I got back to Melbourne was about $25. I was like, dang.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so we're making ramen at home from now on.
So expensive living in Australia these days, isn't it?
Yeah. So definitely things like eating were significant, but also I've heard that their wages are pretty bad over there. So it kind of so cost of living obviously is a bit cheaper over there.
So is the tipping? So did you have to tip them? Have they got a tip system?
No. Apparently they don't. Apparently it's kind of like disrespectful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah. As far as collectibles go, though, so the main thing I've noticed, and I think I've already said in my vlogs, was obviously being in Japan. Most of the stuff when you go into the collectible stores is you see Japanese things. So you see Japanese heroes, Ultraman, Kamen Rider. I don't really know that guy. I know some people collect him, and it's like a big thing down here too. There's a lot of people that are really into that Japanese culture and heroes.
Another question, another question. Did you see did you see any older vintage, like manga sort of anime sort of figurines, like, Robotech or Gatchaman or Star Blazers or
I can't say I saw Robotech specifically. I may have, maybe not noticed. There was definitely vintage Japanese toys. There's a store there called I know how to say it correctly now. It's Mandarake. Apparently, I was saying Mandrake the whole time. And then at the Melbourne Comic and Toy Fair, one of the guys, Gianni, was like, "Oh, did you go to Mandarake? Yeah, Mandarake is very cool." I was like, "Whoa, what'd you just say?" And he goes, "Mandarake." I was like, "Oh, is that how you say it?" So, imagine Mandarakes are everywhere. Not everywhere, but like
other vintage. So they're everywhere. It's like, what is it, like a chain store?
Yes. So imagine Lobos, but instead of being in the building that they're in, they've got a whole multi-tower building. That's what it was like.
And so, like, stuff like Astro Boy and Gigantor.
Yeah, that stuff you'll see. Nakano Broadway, this place here. So we went there, and They're like I didn't quite understand it because we're only there for a short time because everything opens late in Japan. So I'm up early, right? So on my weekends when I do my vlogs, I'm up at 8. It's my day off. I'm at the door at 9, ready to go. Right? And shops normally here, open around 10. Over there, you're looking at 11, 12. So I read on Google that it opened at 10 or something. So we were there by 10:30, 11, walking around, and pretty much the whole place opened till 12. Didn't open till 12. So, but that whole place was pretty much mandarake. Each level had like different mandarake stores all over, but each one was themed. So there was one that had like your vintage toys. There was one that had hot toys. There was one that had just Mech Warrior, Robotech type stuff. There was one with, and then you found the one that you were into, right? So it took me a while, but I found the one that had like the stuff that I've been to, like, Predator stuff or Aliens. But there was a shop in there called Robot, and they had like stuff that we would look for. So I actually found a vintage Predator figure. And you know what? It wasn't super cheap. It was complete though. But I bought it just for the fact that I found one in Japan. But if you go to find the toys that we collect here, like your Star Wars Black Series or your multiverse figures, all that stuff is about the same price, if not more expensive over there. Yes, it's definitely better than Baroni Mall. Den Town I also went to as well. So they've got entire districts where the whole area is just all that stuff. Which is pretty crazy. But yeah, so all those figures, your Marvel Legends, your Star Wars Black Series, your McFarlane stuff, all that stuff is about the same price, if not more expensive. But then all those other brands, the stuff that I like, the Figure Arts, the Mayfix, all that stuff is way cheaper over there. Because I think people who sell them here, they kind of add that import markup, right? So what are you looking up?
Nothing.
Oh, you're typing in the chat. So that was the main thing I noticed. So I wasn't up there looking for the stuff that, the modern stuff. The only stuff that you get down here that you'd find over there that you'd buy is probably vintage. If you found vintage at the right place, the prices are all right. So, but yes, is that somewhere that's on your list of places that you would like to go one day?
Probably, yeah, I would love to go to Japan, absolutely. But probably more for the culture than less for the anime stuff or the collectibles. I'm not into a lot of Japanese stuff. If anything, I'd probably visit some, yeah, but more for the vintage because I'm 80 years old and I love my vintage stuff, like Gacha Man and Star Blazers and, all that sort of Robotech sort of vintage anime stuff. Yeah, I absolutely fell in love with that when I was a kid, and I'd love to see what they have there. Modern, even if they've got modern versions of those series. But that's what I would probably go looking for. But more, I'd love to. Me and Nina would love to go to Japan. It's probably one of our next destinations that we're probably thinking about when we save enough dough. We would love to go. Hey, I made it rhyme. Hashtag rhyme guy.
I was very much trying to find a comic shop because comics over there are manga. Okay. So I did happen to find a American comic shop, I guess you could call it, right? I did happen to find one. So I did do a video there. It was very small. And I was actually surprised to see what they had. So I came across one store which was just a general collectible hobby kind of store, and they had a little manga section. And then they had this little shelf with just DC Marvel stuff, right? And all that stuff was trade paperbacks, but Japanese. I've got one here to show you, but Japanese versions, right? So I bought this because this is one of my favorite books, and I thought, I should get the Japanese version.
Nice.
All right. So these are all obviously Japanese inside, but these are dirt cheap. So this cover price for this trade, it's covered up. It's about $15. I think that says. About $18. But in the shop that had the in this comic shop, they had single issues, right? But all those were American, obviously. And I think they were. I didn't actually ask the price, but I think they were about the same as what we would pay here. But they had a box. They had a short box, and I was flicking through. I was like, "Holy crap! They had a whole box of exclusive covers. I was just pulling them out like I was like, is that a Carla Cohen exclusive? And I just kept pulling them out one after the other. I was like, holy crap! But they were all like, $40 odd each, and I was like, no, that's about regular price for them anyway. And if they were steel, I probably would have bought them. But I was very cautious while I was over there, and I kind of regret that now because I didn't spend all my money. I still had I spent a good chunk of it, but I came back with a reasonable amount of money. And as I'm editing my videos each week, I'm kind of looking at stuff and like, I wish I bought that. Like that Jackie Chan figure. I wish I bought that Jackie Chan figure now.
See what that is? You know what that is?
It's FOMO.
It's your tight ass.
That's my tight. Yeah, well
come on, man. You go overseas. You can't go. You gotta weigh it up. What you gotta do is you gotta weigh it up. You find something. This is what my policy is that when you find something and you know that you're never going to see that anywhere else, you get it.
I can see that here. I just will be paying an extra $50 for it probably. But it was just, I was very cautious in the beginning because we started the trip in Tokyo and ended in Tokyo. The first time in Tokyo, I was very cautious what I was going to buy because I was looking at stuff. I was like, maybe I'll see that cheaper, during this trip. And if I don't, then I'll come back and get it when I'm in Tokyo the second time. And then the second time I was in Tokyo, a lot of that stuff was gone. Of course. But yeah, I was very wary of two things. I didn't want to just buy everything because I could have easily just seen something. I'm buying that. I'm seeing that. I'll buy that.
And plus, you got to bring it back over. You got to bring it over.
Well, that was the other thing. I was very cautious because from the first couple of days we were there, I was like, are we gonna buy another suitcase or are we gonna send stuff back? And Sarah's like, slow down. We haven't filled up our suitcases yet. So I think that played on my mind. I was like, can I really be bothered doing all that? So yeah, I didn't want to just buy everything as soon as I saw it. And yeah, maybe that was the wrong mindset. Because like I said, now there's plenty of stuff that I kind of wish I picked up.
It's always the way, mate. It's always the way.
Yeah, so that was definitely one of the options we considered it. But again, it just seems like a pain in the ass. A lot of people say they either post it back or they just buy another suitcase. We were pretty limited with the suitcase because I think our total weight was X amount and we weren't too far off just without, like we both had a pretty big suitcase each and it was pretty empty when we took it up there.
Yeah, but the thing is you can post it back. You can research posted price, or you can see how much an extra suitcase is going to cost you to get through customs, right? To add to your luggage, because there is a fee, obviously, from the airline.
Yeah.
So you can do that research. The cost of buying a new suitcase compared to buying another box, and then packaging and blah blah blah, right? So I definitely recommend, if that's what you want to do, research it. That's what
I went there prepared to do one of those things. I thought I was going to definitely do one of those things, and we just didn't. And again, I think it was because I was just very constantly thinking in my mind, is this going to all fit in this one?
Yeah, I agree. Japan, especially if you went specifically. Did you see any of the culture? Did you see any of the culture apart from the ramen restaurants?
We went to a shrine. We went to a temple.
Nice.
We went to the cat temple.
Nice.
I didn't realize that the day we went to the shrine, I think we did the shrine and then the golden temple in the same day. The shrine, I thought we were going to go look at cool stuff, right? And then 3,000 steps later, I was like, hey, I didn't realize we're going on a bloody hike. It was crazy. So we made it to the top. What I learned was most people don't make it to the top of the stairs at the shrine. We made it to the top. We made it to the top and then some, because we got to the point where it's the last set of stairs before you get to the top. And there was a lady there saying, if you go this way, you'll get to the top of this thing, but there's no view. If you go this way, you won't be at the top, but there's a really nice view. And we're like, okay, let's go get the view. So we went up the stairs to get the view, and yes, it was a nice view, I guess. And then we walked back down to that point where we met the lady, and then we went up again to the top point. We killed it that day. We were on like 15,000 steps by bloody 10 a.m.
Hashtag exercise guy.
Mate, I needed it because I was eating like crazy over there. So but the month before Japan, I lost a lot of weight because I was being very cautious with what I ate. I had the gout problem, so I was eating very clean. I was avoiding a lot of foods, and I was like, man, when I'm in Japan, it's all bets are off. I'm eating whatever I want. And it's like customary on the way home, on the way to your hotel when you're going to be called for the night, you're not going to go anymore. You had to go past a 7-Eleven or one of the convenience stores and just buy a bunch of crap. That was just, you just had to do it. I'd like to know how much I actually spent at convenience stores because, you know, everything's like $2. A can of alcohol was like $2 for a giant can, or less than $2. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So most of the drinking I did was from 7-Eleven.
Was the beer nice? You have like some beer there, Japanese beer, apart from Asahi.
No, there's all Suntory is like a big, like, it's like they own the place. Like everything there's like either a Suntory or Asahi. They're like the two main. They own like everything.
They own everything. Asahi owns everything.
That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Did you try proper strong zero? I think I did. Definitely tried. Is that the lemon thing? I definitely tried something that said strong, and I think it might have said zero as well. It was like $1.60 for the normal size can, and $1.90 for the giant size can. I was like, phew. The thing I didn't. I wish I went to more bars because I only went one night where I went to a bar. Oh, I did a couple of bars, but there was one night I went down to a bar. Like there's a little district full of bars, and the bars are like the whole bar. Like you could fit almost 3 of those bars in my room here. It was that small. But that was the only night that I kind of met people. Like there was a lot of other travelers. And like you could, when I first got there was, I think 6 people in there and the place was full. There was 1 seat left. So I sat there and they were Aussie. So I was just talking to these Aussies. And then when they left, a Mexican dude came in who could speak fluent Japanese and I talked to him for a bit. And then these newlyweds from England came in and I spoke to them. So that was like a really fun night because I feel like when you travel, that's part of traveling is to meet other travelers, right?
Yeah.
And that was the only time I kind of did that. So I do wish I did a bit more of that because that would have been fun.
Well, you know, it's there's always next time. You know, there's always next time, man. Like sometimes you can go back to the same place and do different things that you did last time. That's the beauty. Because that's what I did when I went to America twice. I did the things that I never did last time. The first time I went, you know, I wanted to go bar hopping, you know, in New York. I wanted to catch a show in Broadway, and I wanted to go to Disneyland, you know. So it's things you do the second time you're around that you didn't do the first time, you know. So there's always a time to do that again.
Yeah, because Sarah's already talking about maybe going again, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want to go to Kyoto again. I don't think I really want to go." And I was like, "Well, we barely put a dent in that. We barely traveled at all while we were in those 2 spots. Tokyo, we probably did the most traveling, but in the other 2, we didn't really explore at all, I would say. So I would like to go back to Osaka definitely again because I really enjoyed Osaka.
And that's the beauty of going to, you find out where you want to go. Like, I don't like that place. I want to go again. Yeah, it's you can read all about it before you go, but you got to experience it for yourself because everyone's different.
Yeah. Well, mate, let's talk about your travels, mate, because you've gone to the ultimate in hunting grounds. You went to New York Comic Con.
Yeah, twice.
And you went obviously specific, like that was the whole reason for the trip, was like that was the main reason for the trip?
Yeah. So 2 weeks I went. So we stayed a week in LA and a week in New York. That was around 2015, 2016, maybe, I think. It was great. Like it was Never been to anything that big in my life. It was huge. It was shits all over the Comic Cons here, and that's not only the guest list, that they have in the talks and conference rooms and stuff, and they're lining up to get signatures, and all the comic book writers in Artist Alley. That's not even comes close. Like the size of Artist Alley at the convention center was the size of just Artist Alley was the size of Jeff's shed, the whole lot. It was huge. And not only did you have well-known writers, like Tim Sale, because Tim Sale was still alive back then. So Tim Sale and all the DC, the DC section. So the first year I went, DC had their own corner, like in the Artist Alley. Then the second year I went, DC had their own pavilion sort of thing in the foyer. Like they sectioned off this part of the foyer as the DC section. I called it. I don't know if it was really called it, but I called it the DC wing. And it was everything DC. They had tables set up for like Jim Lee and Snyder and all those. All the creatives, Jeff Johns and all that. So it was, it was just to have, and they would you would line up, and they would, one at a time. You can go to all of them, or you can go to a specific one and then fuck off. But like it was just an eye-opening experience. Like it was that mass that they're all together in one spot. They're not, you have to go to the Philly Comic Con where. Only Jim Lee's appearing, and then you have to go to the Chicago Comic Con where only Jeff Johns is.
It's the WrestleMania. It's the WrestleMania of comic book creators.
Much. I mean, the second year I was there, I met Frank Miller. He was pretty old. Didn't really get to talk to him, but I sort of nodded and said hello, but he didn't really. He wasn't there to acknowledge me, mate. He was there to acknowledge, people who paid for his signature. But it was, it was good to see him. The first time I was there, I really hit Artist Alley like full on. Ed McGuinness, I got, and I bought some artwork, but not original stuff, just printed stuff, and I just get him to sign it. They range between 30 American to 60 American for a print with a signature on it, or you can just get a print. Rob Liefeld or Liefeld, however you want to pronounce it. It was an experience. It was like pinch yourself moment. Like so many, and then and that was like on one side of the artist. And then on the other side of Alice, you had all the original artists, which they just do art. Postcards or. Pop culture stuff, pop culture artworks, and then you had also, they had like, what do you call it? You had like stalls down there, but they were selling original art, like original art pages from comic books.
Yeah.
So that was a good touch, like to have a stalls down in Artist Alley, but only selling art. So that was really cool.
How many days is New York Comic Con? Is it just 3 days?
4 days. 4 days.
Sorry?
4 days.
4 days.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But the main days obviously are Saturday and Sunday. So Saturdays, I found out pretty quickly that Saturdays was like the cosplay day. Like everyone turns out on a Saturday for cosplay, and then Sunday you still get cosplay, but not as much. I had the privilege to dress up as cosplay. First time I went, I dressed up as I had to do a Comic Con in America and cosplay. So I did Wolverine patch Wolverine. That was pretty cool.
Did you bring your costume from Australia?
Yeah. So the boots I knew I wore them and then tossed them in the street afterwards. Like I just left them on the sidewalk, as you do in America with all the rubbish. And the t-shirt was easy, or the eye patch, the wig, I brought everything with me. Yeah, the claws and all that. Yeah, just put them in my suitcase. It was a good experience. The store floor where all the stores are was immense. It's just you needed at least 2 days easy to go through every part of that, and luckily, yeah, you can't do it in 1 day. It was huge, and you miss stuff. You go over the same stalls, and they might bring out something different on the other day, especially if they sold something on a Saturday. Same store might bring out more stock. It was an experience.
What are the hours? Is it just your regular 9 to 5, or do they go till nighttime, or?
No, we just went to maybe about 6 or 7, and then sometimes they have events afterwards, like at a bar. Like if you paid VIP, you get an invite to go to a bar, and with other people, like-minded people, but some of the artists come along as well. I never did that. I went the first time I went as a vendor. A friend of mine got a vendor ticket, like a comic book shop, he was a comic book shop owner, and I went with him. And that was a different side. You see a different side, because I got to go into the meetings with, like where the comic book companies tell you what's coming out, sort of thing. That was interesting. That was like on a Thursday, I think, morning, and they provide breakfast and, like a buffet breakfast, and you go in and you have a meeting. And they have the meeting, it's like a conference hall, and all the heads of the studios come in and they tell you what's coming out to do with comic books. That was it. That was an eye opener. That was a bit different. And then I went, and then the second year I bought a ticket. So that was I went as just a customer. I was lucky to get a ticket, to be honest, because they didn't have the ballot system back then. So I just had to sit in the middle of the night. I think it was 12 midnight, and buy my ticket straight off.
So it's a sellout, is it?
Yeah, whereas now they have a ballot system like San Diego. San Diego has a ballot system and a loyalty program. So if you bought a ticket the year before, you get priority by this year, or like the year after, and the year after that.
That's crazy. How's that fair for any new people who want to come?
Well, not everyone's going to go every year. So, some people probably won't afford it, or they can't go. So they open it up. So, that's how, it is. It's not right. It's shit.
When you bought your tickets, was that like for all 4 days?
Yeah, all 4 days.
Wow. And you went all 4 days. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well,
I guess you can chill a bit more those first couple of days. You don't have to stress about seeing everything the first 2 days, and then the weekend you kind of go.
Correct. And, the first couple of days, like Thursday, there wouldn't be any really a lot of people in the artist alley, or big names talking like in conference halls. So you fly 25 hours, and I'm not going to go for all 4 days. I paid for a 4-day ticket. I'm going to go 4 days. So
how much does it cost for all 4 days?
What tickets?
Just tickets to go there.
Just a ticket to to New York Comic Con.
Yeah, for 4 days.
I don't know, about $200, $200.
That's all right.
Australian back then.
Yeah, so it's like $50 a day. That's all right.
Yeah, it'd be more expensive now, about $250 off the top of my head. You can look it up now, but it'll probably be more expensive than that. But it was totally worth it. The first year I went, I was like jaw-dropping experience. And then the second time I went, it wasn't as jaw-dropping, obviously, but I still don't regret going the second year after, like the year after, because I experienced different things. It was a completely different thing. Like I had a different experience, which I was happy with. Like I had some grails that I wanted to find.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was there anything you went there thinking, all right, these are on my hit list?
Well, I bought a couple of comic books, like sets. I didn't want to buy. I didn't go to individual, like like a key issue or anything like that. I just didn't go there for that. But I bought Batman Year One, the whole set. I bought Death in the Family, and I had all these already. But I bought them again because they were really good priced, and I had to buy something. comics while I was there, but mostly I looked at the action figures.
I was going to say, were you, because it sounds like it was a very comic book heavy trip. This sounds like it was the comic book era of Mark, but
Yeah, I mean, I did buy like I bought like a magazine size sort of DC vintage book, and that was really interesting. It was like, and I got it signed. The guy was in Artist Alley, and went down there and got it signed. But my Grail, I mean, they weren't really Grail. My action figures, like I was looking for a Damien action figure from the Batman Incorporated line. Really hard to find, really expensive. So I found that, and I sort of negotiated the guy down. But I got it down. I got it to what I've seen it in Australia. I got it pretty much the same price as what I would have paid for here in Australia.
What was the line called?
It was Batman Incorporated. Right, it was a DC Direct line. DC Direct, Batman Incorporated, Robin. And also I got the Batgirl from that line as well. Was it Batgirl from that line? I can't remember now. Batgirl, the blonde Batgirl, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's from that line as well. I got those from different vendors, and I went back and forth a couple of times. Is
that it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he's really hard to find.
He doesn't look like he articulates much.
No, he's not. He's not articulated much, but it was his first Robin costume, and I really wanted to put that with my Batman family set. And I got the Stephanie Batgirl, which I'm not sure if that was from the same line. But that was it. Like I said, I went back and forth a couple of times. And then I found while I was, there's stuff that you find when you walk around the stores that you never knew you wanted.
Because you didn't know it existed.
Right. So I found a whole line of Young Justice figures.
Oh yeah.
Right, and they were I think they're 5 inches in height. They're not very big. They're not 6 inch. They did release 6 inch versions, but these were the smaller versions. And some of them came in double packs. So for instance, the Batman and the Robin, and then they had Aquaman and Aqualad, and they had Martian Manhunter and Miss Martian. So it was these that I went nuts over them. I went to nearly every store and to find them. Yeah, those. So these ones on the right, they're all the miniature ones, the 5 inch, and the ones on the left are the 6 inch versions.
Yeah, because you used to have them in the shop.
They're part of my. What would you call it? My marketing team. They're part of my marketing team. Yeah. So the one I'm missing a couple, which I can't. It's very hard to find, like the Flash. I've got Kid Flash, but I'm looking for the Flash in that size. And I ended up getting Superman because I had Superboy, but I ended up finding Superman on eBay. And Jin, God bless his soul, he repainted it for me. And I've got like Roy Harper, Red Arrow from that line. They're really beautiful figures. Not much articulation at all. But I fell in love with them. And the other one, Sean got me. He got me Artemis, but without she's missing the bow. So I just bought a bow from eBay and used the bow when I ever take shots or photographer. But yeah, so it was stuff like that I remember, stuff that I didn't know that I wanted. I absolutely love that line. They really portray what the cartoon was about. The look of the cartoon was great. But tell me.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, there was a lot of statue wise, because I don't really collect statues. There's a lot of statues, like the DC Marvel statues in Japan, that I'd never seen before, because I think they're a brand that we don't get here, but they were like $30-$40. They're like really cheap,
Yeah.
but they look good.
And I remember buying. I bought an exclusive while I was in Comic-Con. They had an exclusive Batman 66 and Robin 66 climbing the side of the building. That iconic sort of scene where they climb the side of the building.
Wait, who made that?
The same. Not McFarlane. The person who did it before McFarlane. NECA? I think it was NECA. It may have been NECA. But it was a Comic-Con exclusive.
Because didn't Jin get you something similar to that?
He did, yeah. Yeah. But I kept the one that Jin gave me, I kept it in the bubble packaging. And the other one I pulled out and I put it out on display. Yeah, so I do have it.
Is that it?
I don't know, it hasn't come up. That's the one. Yeah, it's really awesome. It looks great. It looks fantastic. I love it.
You know what I regret not buying when it came out when I used to work at JB?
Tell me.
The Batman 66 box set, one of the first ones that came out, it must have been DVD, and it had the little Batmobile in there.
Blu-ray.
Is that Blu-ray?
Yeah,
I've got the Blu-ray box. I've got the Blu-ray box set, just a regular box set. But I remember when it first came out, I had the Batmobile in there.
It came out in two versions. It came out with the Blu-ray box set, and it came out with the deluxe, which came with the car, which I got. That's the one I got, and I've still got that. Yeah.
Did you take the car out?
It's awesome. Huh?
Did you take the car out?
No, of course not. The car. I've got plenty of cars. I don't need that car. I've even got that Corgi car. I've got an original Corgi.
Yeah, Jin finally got one as well. So I found one on eBay and I was gonna buy it, right? And I'm sure it's not there anymore. It was $30 or $29 even.
Yeah.
But it was completely cooked. Like it was completely stuffed. So it was so stuffed, it wasn't black. It looked like almost like a chrome silver. It was so cooked. But I thought, how good would it be if I got this and then got Jin to see if he could just.
Did it have the figurines in it?
I can't remember, but I doubt it, considering the condition of the actual.
Yeah, tiny figurine. They came with these tiny. I still got mine.
Mine don't have that. My one's broken. My one, all the windows at the front are broken, and and mine's pretty scratched up. You won't be able to see it on the camera, but but the good thing about mine is that it's the one I used to play with when I was a kid. So.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Jin bought one when there was that Batman sale at Aaron's. He bought one there. But his one looks pretty good.
Did he paint it up?
No, it was in really good nick, his one.
Oh, good. He said it wasn't cheap.
It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't a terrible price for what it was.
Good.
Yeah,
so is there anywhere else? Is there anywhere you want to go else apart from Japan, mate?
Well, here's the thing, right? So Sarah's just hinted, oh yeah, I want to go back, and in my head, right, because the reason I don't travel a lot is because I've never been good at saving money. So God bless Sarah for finally making me save money. So in my head, I don't know how many times I'm going to travel in my life, right? Because of the fact that I've never saved this money to be able to do these things. So in my head, I was like, why would I go? I mean, I'd love to go to Japan again. Don't get me wrong. I loved it there, and I would definitely go back. But in my head, it's like, well, if I'm only going to go away so many times, wouldn't I go somewhere different each time? I know with Sarah obviously doesn't like being out of her. She likes her comfort places. So the fact that she's been to Japan now, she's experienced it. I think she would feel more comfortable there the second time, or third time technically. She was a kid when she went the first time. While going to a whole new place would probably be a little bit more jarring for her again, because the first day in Japan, it was a struggle to get Sarah to leave the room. She was just had an anxiety attack. It was just all overwhelming for her. And I said, let's go to the shops. Like, everything here is stuff that you love. You know what I mean? Like, there's freaking Sanrio and Pokemon shit everywhere. You'll love it. And then when she got out, it was fine. But that first day, she was really struggling. mentally to just get out. Arkham Knight Batmobile edition that Warner Brothers recalled. What's that? Really want to go to Ohio. So many vintage toy shops there and great Ohio. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, Japan is like, you go there and there's all that stuff that you love there. Other places, it's not going to be as readily available. So you kind of have to.
But that's the hunt. That's part of the hunt.
Yeah.
You go there, you look on Google Maps, see comic book shops near me, and bang.
That is the thing. We didn't. So to find the really cool stuff, the stuff that I probably, places that would have blown my mind would have been ones that would have been holes in the wall that you kind of just, you really need to know, like, that you're going to go there. You know what I mean? Like where we were really popular parts, of town. So I didn't get to really find those holes in the wall, that would have blown my mind. So, but yes, look, I've always wanted to go to America, obviously. But just, I don't know, in my head, like, the reason Japan was such a big deal for me was I hadn't been to overseas for so long. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to go overseas in my whole life. I didn't want to go to somewhere like America or the UK as much as I do want to go to those places, because I feel like when you go to those places, it's not too different than being here. America would just be, everything's bigger. Everything's more, big, steroids. UK, everything's more, I don't know, expensive. Japan, I wanted to go somewhere that was going to give me a culture shock that made me feel like I was really in another country. God bless you. So Japan is definitely that place that's going to give you a culture shock, man. It was just really.
I think if we organised a couple of us boys, go to a Comic-Con, doesn't matter which one, to America for 2 weeks or a week, whatever it may be. I think you'd have a good time, and I think you would be culture shocked about, and America is maybe not the best place to live at the moment, but it'd be a great place to visit still. I have no doubt. And if you go there with a purpose, I mean, LA has got other things other than comics. Like it's got great music scene. The music scene in LA. There's a great music shop in LA that you would definitely have to go to. It's like JB Hi-Fi on steroids. Like, I'm talking steroids.
Dude, yeah. Went to the next episode of Simple Japan, mate. We go to Tower Records. It's like 8 levels of music.
Correct. And so, stuff like that, that you would see, like you said, bigger and not necessarily better, but definitely bigger. But there are other places you can visit. Like, obviously you would want to, if you're going to go to LA, you got to do the studio tours, and you go to Disneyland and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
the thing is, if I go to US, just quickly though, yes, I did go to Nintendo stores in Japan. I went to many of them, and I didn't say America was like UK. I just said America and UK wouldn't be too different to Australia. I know it's different, but it's similar feels with everyone speaking English and the same foods and things like that.
Yes and no. It's yes and no. It's not. It's not exactly. That's not. It's yes and
no.
no.
Obviously, the culture is American culture is.
Yeah,
pretty out there, and obviously UK would be different. I absolutely understand, but what I was saying was, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I mean, Japan's another language. Like a lot of that was one thing I was fearing, was the language barrier, and a lot of people have asked me, like, what is it like, right? And before I went, I was asking people, am I going to struggle with the language? And like every single person said to me, no, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
they speak English. But guess what? Here's my answer to that, though. No, not everyone speaks English. You will be fine. You will be fine. But
it's like when me and Nina went to Italy. Not everyone speaks English, but majority. But like every person, like every local we spoke to, it was like we would say, parle English, and they would say a little bit, and their little bit is a lot, right? So, they know, English is a spoken language. So most of them, like in that space, restaurateurs and taxi drivers, they speak a little bit of English. Absolutely. So it's not like completely where you resort to sign language.
Well, Sarah was really good. She learned Japanese in school, so she can't really speak it, but she went and relearned all the basics that she would need to know. So she could go through a full sales process in Japan without using English. She would say hello. She would say yes or no, I need a bag or not. I'm paying with card or cash. Thank you. I would go up and go. And so I learned how to say thank you, right? So everyone's like, it's arigato, right? But you say arigato gozaimasu. The gozaimasu apparently is just like a nicer, more polite way of saying thank you. What's up, Lee? So get this right. I said it good then, right? Arigato gozaimasu, right? I can say it. But every time it came time to perform and actually say it to a Japanese person, I messed up. I didn't even know. But I can say it. I can say it now. Arigato gozaimasu. But when I had to say it to a Japanese person, I couldn't say it properly.
You're too nervous.
Oh, dude.
I was doing that when I was in Italy. Like Nina had it down pat because she learnt Italian and she had a little bit of Italian. So we had a bit of we did a bit of YouTube research on the customs of how to order coffee and how to order food, and because they have a process in Italy, so I didn't want to embarrass myself and I wanted to pay respect to their customs. So but yeah, Nina was like all over it, and the first couple of times I was like real nervous and I couldn't get it out, the thank you or the please or whatever, and I would just mess up and I would, like, instead of say the word, I would start mumbling, and then after a while I started getting it. So yeah, it is a bit of a culture shock in that sense, but it's fun. Like, it's fun outside your comfort zone. It challenges you, and look what by challenging you and stepping out, look what you've achieved. You've gone to Japan, mate.
But again, Japan, I think, again, there were many factors in Japan that made me feel I was not once was I worried about my safety. In America, I feel like I might be worried about my safety sometimes.
Depends where you go. It depends where you go. It's not all like that.
Like, it was weird, right? So you notice in my vlog how I'm doing a lot of walking around, talking to the camera casually, walking through the streets of Japan. I felt more comfortable doing that in Japan than I do here. I can't walk down the street while talking. Like, I do it at events because people know me at events. They know that's what I do. I can't just walk down, I don't know, Chapel Street.
Welcome back to Victoria, buddy. Welcome back to Melbourne, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. I would feel weird doing it. But over there, I felt fine. I think over there they
can't do that here. You can't.
No, you can. You can. You just feel like an idiot. Over there,
no, you can't do that here. No.
What do you mean?
No, you can't do that here. Someone might run past and snatch your phone. Snatch your camera. Hit you with a machete.
Yeah, the machete thing's a little bit of a worry these days. Because I was saying today to someone, I was like, there's obviously bad areas here. I don't know. I'm not that scared here because I'm from here. So I feel like I can handle the situation better than if I'm in another country where I'm not familiar.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot that 12-year-olds have machetes now. So
yeah, but you of course you feel safer because you live here and you can speak English, and of course you feel safer in your own home, of course. But I mean, when you go overseas, I know when I travel, whenever I've traveled, I have not a sixth sense. Yeah, I suppose you get I get a sensory of everything around me more so than when I'm at home. Like my surroundings, who's who and what are around us, and like it just goes up a notch when I go overseas. Like with all my belongings you prepare yourself. Like we spoke about it before we went overseas, and whereas Japan does seem a bit safer than going to Europe, especially. And so we had a bit of like I said, we did a bit more research on that.
Yes, I am the hero.
Yes.
So is there any other places you've been where I know obviously when you went to Malta, you went to a couple of shops, but what other countries have you been to?
Amsterdam, in my younger years. I know that's hard to believe, but I was young once.
The world was black and white back then.
Oh, yes. Of course. Well, whatever, man. Whatever. Been to Amsterdam, been to Switzerland, been to France, and then recently went to Barcelona and obviously Italy.
Did you like in that video when you talked about how you went from here to here, how the count just kept going and you'd gone to like 20 places while you're on your honeymoon?
Yes. It's different. Each country is different, but each country is the same. You know, they still have the same footpaths. They still have the same tarmac. You know, like they have the same. They still have the same road rules. And
well, in America, when you went to America, were people walking on the other side of the road too?
I tell you what, they did have in America was I did drive in America, which I think the second year I was there. I hired a car. And the guy I was with, he hired the car and he goes, here, drive the car so you can get used to it. So I drove a little bit. And then he went back to home. He went back home and I stayed for an extra week. And I hired a car. Not a big car and it wasn't a small car either. But that was strange, driving on the other side of the road. It was just one advice he gave me was just to follow the guy in front of you. Like, so in that, what he meant by that was not to go onto the other side of the road. So the hardest part is the intersection when you're turning into in an intersection.
You're like, what the hell's happening?
Right. So you don't go onto the oncoming traffic. So that was one thing that I was nervous about. But there's a couple of road rules that I had to get used to in the States. Like in the States at traffic lights, you can turn left at any time in LA anyway. I don't know about New York or any other state, but in LA, you can turn left at any time at traffic lights, even if the light is green, even if the light is red. So that is allowed. You can turn left at any time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it just frees up traffic and that lane, I suppose. So if people are going straight, yeah, they would stop at a red light. But if the person in front is turning left, you could just turn left.
I wouldn't even drive interstate because the roads are different. One of the guys here, Stefan, shout out to Stefan at Gats Collectibles. He said to me, "Are you hiring a car in Japan?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Driving is so fun in Japan." I'm like, "Hell no, am I driving in another country?" In Japan, right? Every crossing is a zebra crossing. Right, so they got the bars, right?
Yeah.
So if that crossing has the light with the green and red man, then you have to wait for cars and you have to give way to cars until it's green man. Yeah. If there is not one of those lights, you just go and cars have to fucking stop for you. So literally, there's some main roads.
Yeah,
you can just walk across and cars have to stop for you.
It's just weird, isn't it? Like other countries deal with it differently. It's weird. I remember Adelaide, when I was in Adelaide, when you had the red man.
Right. Red. I think you're getting your sides mixed up.
What do you mean?
I think, he's from America. He's saying right on red.
No, I said Adelaide.
What?
When I was in Adelaide.
When you're in Adelaide, you could turn left at all times.
No, in LA.
In LA, yeah. In LA, yeah.
Yes, yeah, right on red.
Okay.
When I was in Adelaide, when you want to cross the road, you press the button so you can get the green man, right? So it's on red. So as soon as it turns green, you have to run across the road because it goes to the red man halfway on the crossing. There's not enough time for you to get across.
Yeah, I noticed in Japan, the green man's there for ages. But once it starts flashing, that flashing man doesn't last that long.
We were dumbfounded with Adelaide. But yeah, driving to other states is not bad. But other countries, yeah, I do it again. Absolutely, I want to drive from LA to San Francisco. That's what I want to do, that drive.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of my bucket list things to do. You know, is to drive, do that long drive, hire a car or a camper van or something. You know, but you know, yes, that's right. It does. It lasts about 3 seconds in Adelaide, man. It's like it's so quick.
That's pretty funny. Adelaide, well, there's not many people around who need the green. I remember when my band played in Adelaide, the one thing I remember was we were in the city and I was cool. I was like, this is a nice city, right? But literally all of a sudden I turned around one moment. I was like, wait, it was like a movie. Everyone disappeared. It was like everything was like popping off. It was like busy in the city. Next thing you know, I turned around, I was like, whoa, where'd everyone go? It was like it hit 5 o'clock on the dot and people just like shut their doors because like the monster comes out after 5. It was insane. I couldn't believe how it just suddenly just went vroom and no one was around.
How long ago was this?
Oh, a long time ago. I couldn't tell you. It was Adelaide. I'd have to go on my Facebook and look up photos of my old band to find out how long ago it was. Exactly. I remember, get this. It was so long ago. We were walking around the city and we found a comic shop. And one of our friends at the time was with us. He moved to Adelaide. He used to be in Melbourne. He moved to Adelaide. And he was like, oh, this comic shop's really cool. So we went in there and it was 3 stories. And I had no idea about comic books. And I was like, and I walked in this room and it must have been their back issues room, right? Because it was this really long room, just full of short boxes, right? And I was just looking around like, how do people find shit in here? Like, how do you know what you're looking for? I just had no idea about comic books back then. And we drove up there too.
So you didn't really answer my question. Is there anywhere else you want to go?
So yeah, look, America and UK obviously as places I would love to go to. I used to always want to go to Amsterdam. The thing with America though is if I go to America, one of the things I really would want to do, which would take up too much time, is I want to meet a lot of my YouTube friends. And they all live so freaking far apart from each other. You know what I mean? Like some of them live in the middle of nowhere. Some of them, you know, that's why Heroes Con that Sean went to, that's where they all go. Like because it's like centralized for most of them, they all go there. And there's like 100 of these comic book YouTubers there, and they all meet up and they all hang out. And like I'd love to do that.
Yeah, well, we can always go. Yeah, absolutely. We should do it.
Well, yeah, that would be definitely a bucket list thing to go to Heroes Con. Other countries. I mean, someone mentioned before. South Korea. I heard Korea is very, very nice, and not too different from Japan, I would assume. Yeah, like I don't know, a lot of those other Asian countries like Vietnam, and I don't know, I'm just guessing, but I'd imagine they'd be similar to Thailand because Thailand was the last place I went before Japan, which was again 12 years ago, and that was because at the time I was like Muay Thai crazy, right? I was like training Muay Thai. I was like, oh, let's go to Thailand, and that was fun, and that was super cheap, obviously everything. But very full on as far as like you couldn't walk 10 meters without someone approaching you to sell you something. That gets old very quickly. So I'd imagine that's what Bali would be like, for example. You go to Bali, I'd imagine it's not too different than going to Thailand with that. You know, it's all Aussies there partying and drinking, getting drunk. And then you deal with all the people trying to sell you fake Rolexes and shit. I would like to go to Italy to try food because I heard it's not great.
The food is great. It's not. They use basic flavors. It's not like flavorsome, like what they.
Apparently, you went to the wrong district. I've read in the comments that Mark went to the wrong districts.
Oh, okay. I went to the wrong district. Okay.
He went to 20 districts. Look, America is really like, I guess since I was a kid, you know, because down here we grew up on American culture, American movies. Like America is the land of opportunities, you know.
Look, I met I met some people. I could tell stories about being at Comic-Con, about my experiences, but I'll also tell you the things that I also experience with artists and conversations I've had, and because you can sit there and talk to them. They don't move you on. They don't tell you, sorry, man, I'm selling, you move. It's like, yeah, you sit there and you talk, and they'll talk to you back. Some of them aren't inviting, but they still talk to you. So it was great. And that's the kind of things you ask them, questions that you're always wondering about, and that's the beauty of going and talking to, seeing these names that we've been reading about in the front cover of our comic books, where it says written by or drawn by or illustrated by. That was probably the highlight of my 2 trips to Comic-Con, was seeing those guys.
I got a story for you. One of my old managers at the old place we used to work at, he was, I feel like he said it was LA. He was in America, basically. And I can't remember if he was at like a bus stop or some kind of waiting station. And some guy comes up and starts asking everyone who's waiting for change. And everyone's like, no, I don't have any change. And he gets asked, he's no, sorry, dude, I don't have any change. And then apparently the guy then pulled out a gun. He goes, let me ask this again. Does anyone have any change? And apparently people pulled out some change.
And where's this?
I feel like he said he was in LA. But something you asked me backstage before, which I said I'll talk about maybe once we go live, and I'll throw the question back to you as well. Mark asked me backstage before if I would live in Japan. Because before I went, everyone was telling me, you're going to love it. You're not going to want to come back. You're going to get so Japan sick when you come home. You'll be sad. Everyone's saying that. And they weren't wrong. Like it was as advertised. Japan was awesome. Could I live there? Die bug. This little bug that keeps flying around is annoying the shit out of me. Could I live in Japan? I could, but I would only live in Japan. I'd have to learn the language first. I wouldn't move there without learning Japanese, obviously. I would only live in another country if I had nothing left here. If all my friends and family died, maybe I could move to another country.
Or you had a very high-paying job.
Oh, because then I could just come back whenever I want. Is that?
No, but if someone paid you to go work in Japan, and it was very high-paying, you would go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. How much high pay? It was high paying enough that it was no sweat to fly back and forth all the time because I couldn't.
Your dream job, whatever your dream job is, don't worry about the pay, but your dream job. And if they said, but you have to move to Japan, you would do it.
My dream job would be this, which means, guess what, Mark? You're coming to Japan. What about you, man? What out of all the countries you've been to, which one would you or could you live in?
Look, I'd love to say I'd love to live in Italy, like maybe Florence. But I've been there on a holiday twice, right, when I was younger, and now I still fell in love with the culture there. The food culture, the coffee culture. The art,
the coffee better than Melbourne? Melbourne coffee's pretty good.
Oh yeah. It's as good. It's not better. It's just as good. And the art, the architecture, just the history of the history part of, like, working in a town that's been around for over 2,000 years. So I don't know. I could live in Italy. Pick your town. Maybe not Venice, but Venice is just an island. I wouldn't. But Florence or Rome, I would. Depending on the job, and I would definitely live in. And I'd probably like to live in America. Maybe not in any of the big cities, but maybe in the. In another state where it's got a bit more open spaces. Yeah, Bologna, that would be another one I'd love to go to. I think that would be our next trip to Italy. Would be these other unsung towns. Still tourist destinations, but I'd love to hit some of the unsung towns and villages in Italy. But I'd love to, yeah. America I would live. Nina wouldn't. So that's a no-go. But anything with an open space, I would live in America. Yeah, and definitely Italy.
I think I need to do the other. So I've only gone overseas 3 times in my life, and they've all been Asia. So when I was a kid, I went to Hong Kong and China with my parents when I was like, this was like 1991 or 2. So I don't really remember that. And then Thailand and then Japan. So I think I would need to head to the other parts of the world to see what it's like. You've never been to an Asian country. You've done the opposite, right?
Correct. Yeah. I think I'd love to go to London or England.
Yeah. Do
Scotland. Yeah, do Scotland, Ireland, England. I'd love to do that as well. But you know, I'm old. I'm close to retiring age. I've got a super. I've got super.
Hong Kong 2027. Yeah, look, I would go to Hong Kong, but I don't know. It's not high. Like, it'd be something like Sarah's like, you should ask your mum if she wants to go to Hong Kong, because that would be a good opportunity to go to Hong Kong.
I would probably. I would have loved to have gone Hong Kong when it was more when it was under the English rule. I don't know if I'd want to go there now. I don't know. I don't know about China. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a bit scared of communist countries. They scare me.
All right. We'll get ready to wrap this up soon. But what was, out of all the countries you've gone to, what's been the best thing you've found overseas?
As in what?
Anything.
Look, I would still have to say America, because because we lived with American culture, American TV. You see American TV, you know, you see the Statue of Liberty, you see the Brooklyn Bridge, you see, you know, you go to Disneyland, you see Universal Studios, you go to Paramount Studios, you know, you see, Guitar Center in LA, and you just see all these things, and you just go, wow, I can't believe I'm here. You know, I remember seeing that on the Sopranos, or I remember seeing that on Californication, or, you know, stuff like that. That would be my answer to that question. How about you?
The best thing I've found overseas.
Yeah.
So
I would have to say what I found was the experience. The experience of going overseas was what I found was the best experience. Is just experiencing other places. Well, so what was yours?
Well, I definitely did crazier things when I was in Thailand. Like, I rode an elephant, like stuff like that. Yeah, I would say, because when I went to Thailand, I wasn't into all this stuff. I was into Muay Thai. That's what I was into, combat sports and shit. So I did different things. It wasn't me. It's not like I could just, I mean, I could go to watch Muay Thai fights every day there, but I did more things there. Well, here we did things, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it was very eccentric to what we're both, you know, kind of into, which is just going to, you know, I mean, Universal was awesome. You know what? The ride, the Jurassic Park ride we went to, the Flying Dinosaur in Universal, was the craziest thing I've ever done. It's the craziest ride I've ever been on. It's a roller coaster, but like, you're facing this way. So you're looking at the ground. Like, you're facing, so you're literally flying as Superman. That was the craziest thing I've ever done. Okay. Oh, got in trouble with the triads. That's not good. I'd be fine.
Yeah, because you know Muay Thai.
That's right. 12 years ago. All right. Well, maybe we'll wrap it up. I had some good topics for some upcoming episodes with you, right?
Okay.
That I thought about. I was thinking about one, and we can maybe even do these in the same episodes, right? I was thinking about one where we talk. Obviously, you love talking about movies, all right?
Yeah.
We were going to do, I was planning on doing an Alien Earth one, but I feel like the ship has sailed and I feel like.
Don't let me experience. I don't want to experience that nightmare of a show, please. Again.
I was thinking about doing one where we talk about sequels that were better than the originals.
Yeah. Like?
Well,
An example?
I guess it's up for debate. I don't know. Terminator 2 and Terminator. It's up for debate, really.
Aliens, Terminator 2.
We probably wouldn't focus too much on Aliens because we've already done that. But we'll get an honourable mention.
Yeah, it needs a mention, of course.
I wouldn't want to focus too much on the Aliens one because
no, of course not.
But that was an idea.
There's heaps. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of those sequels that were better than the original. There is heaps. And then we can do one. Then we can do one that sequels that just didn't live up to the original.
Yeah, well, that could be the same episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Another one I was thinking about. We should do more lists, like how we did the Batman movies.
Yeah.
We should come up with some ideas for the new list. I was thinking things like top badass action females.
Oh wow, that's really inventive.
We haven't done it. We haven't spoken about it.
Oh wow, your vocabulary has extended.
Yeah, I was going to say badass bitches. But yes, if it is getting it season 2, and I will be there.
Season 2. It's got
information.
It's a 4-season series apparently.
No, so get this. No. They signed on for 1 season. He wrote it not knowing there was going to be a second season, as in if it was going to be or not. He just ended on a cliffhanger because that way they'll have to give us the next season.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I know they don't. Like literally 3 days ago, I watched a video of a guy made a video saying, "Oh, season 2 might not even happen," and then literally 2 days later it got confirmed. So, you guys wait. Season 2 is it'll pick itself back up.
No, it won't.
Have faith. Have faith.
It shouldn't even be called Aliens. It's not even about aliens.
There was an alien in it, all right?
Oh, whoopee-doo.
Set on Earth. It should have been Aliens Earth.
No, it should have been called Androids.
All right. Anyway.
Android Earth.
Good segue, Rad. So I will be back live. For a guy who doesn't stream, I'm streaming a lot this week. Tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Melbourne time, or Australian Eastern Daylight Time, it's also known. We'll be talking about Predator Badlands with Sanimation. I have not, don't say anything, Santa, because I know you're in the chat there. I haven't asked her anything about the film. I don't know if she liked it. I don't know if she didn't like it. I'm very excited to hear what she has to say about it. And tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m., we're doing a full spoiler review, and Cinemalian will be back. I'm excited. And we can't... No, that's good signs. All right. So, yeah, tomorrow night, 8:30, we're going to be talking Predator Badlands. And Mark and I will be back sometime. Are you doing Yarraville this month?
I am.
Oh, beautiful. I thought Thornbury was your last show.
No. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a Yarraville one until Billy told me. So, I said to you, I'm doing it, yeah. Are you?
I am doing, mate. I got new inventory too.
Ooh, new inventory.
I upgraded some of my figures. I put, did I tell you I got the storage locker?
No.
I bought it. I got it's not huge. It's just a small one. Oh. But I moved all this stuff into my storage. And as I was moving it there, I was like, I could probably sell a bunch of this shit.
Looks like I'm a trendsetter. Looks like I'm setting a trend here because Eli got one as well.
Oh, well, maybe I'll start my business out of there.
No, mate. Sorry, buddy. Forget it.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. Look at that. 1 hour and 30 on the dot. How good are we? Don't forget to give this video a like. And for all those who watched it on mobile, I don't know if... Oh, actually, let me know if it was good on mobile because I don't know if I like this feature. The main reason I don't like it is that it creates 2 separate streams. And you can click on the mobile one on desktop, which doesn't make sense to me. Why would... The mobile one should only show up on mobile and the desktop one should only show up in...
Well, maybe they're still working out the kinks, buddy.
I'm kink shaming him. All right. Thank you, everyone. And until next time, say bye, Mark.
Hashtag Kink Guy.
Say bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
And keep it simple.